folks, thank you for checking out my video. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough on how to remove and install a kitchen faucet. In my case, I have a faucet that is currently not working properly, so I'm going to remove it and see if I can try to fix it and reuse it. If not, then I have to replace it with a new one. So in either case, I will do a walkthrough on how to remove and install a kitchen faucet. So stay tuned. The problem is that the whole spout here is stuck. You're supposed to be able to swivel it around like this so you can position the spout to be here or there when you're doing your dishes, but this one here is stuck. We tried to resolve this issue by applying vinegar here. It worked for a while, but then the calcium buildup continued to build, and now we can't remove it. It's like stuck. See, when I move it, the whole base moved. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove this whole thing here, clean it up, and then reinstall the faucet. So this is a Pfister faucet. Yours might be different, but I don't imagine the reinstalling is vastly different. So before you begin your project, you want to do an assessment of what you have to deal with underneath the sink. I'm going to have to remove a lot of stuff out of here so I can have access to see what's underneath there. Hopefully I don't have to remove any of the pipes here to do this project. Alright, let's see what I have to work with here. Yeah, it's a little tight space here. There's a mounting nut there. It's all rusted. So it looks like I'm going to need a tool to be able to unscrew that part there. As a result of water dripping down, you have water built up and you can see a lot of rust here. What I saw down there is that the mounting nuts to this faucet here is pretty rusty. For this one here, all the pipes are inserted into here, including the sprayer tube. It's also eventually connected to here, and for the sprayer tube, there's a quick connect that you can disconnect. But I think the hardest part is removing the mounting nut from underneath here. I went to Home Depot and I purchased this basin wrench here. And this is the actual tool that can get the mounting nut off the faucet. So we'll see. Hopefully it's going to work. It looks like this. You can move it into position like so. And then you fit it into the nut, and at the bottom here you can turn clockwise or counterclockwise to lock it or to remove it. So the next step in the process is to shut off the inlet valves. Boom. You just turn it from this position to that position there like that. One thing to notice is that the hot water inlet valve is always to your left here, and the cold water is to your right. If you want to confirm that, what you do is you run your water for a minute or so, run hot water, and then basically touch it like that. If it feels hot like so, then it confirms that this valve is a hot water inlet valve, and this one's a cold one. So once I turn off the water at the bottom there, I'm going to turn on the water up here to see if there's any water coming down. Nope, no more. Hopefully there won't be any water coming down on my face when I'm underneath there. Alright, so removing should be easy. This is a 17 millimeter. Yours might be different. Make sure you have some sort of bucket underneath there to get any kind of water out. Okay, there's no water. That's cool. Looks like I'm going to have to remove the detergent dispenser here and then use the basin wrench that you saw earlier to remove the mounting bolts there. So this is where the pipes is going through. I can see right here the quick release for the spray head there. The space is too small for the camera, so I'm just going to remove it, and then once I remove it I can demonstrate it to you how I did it underneath. Okay, so from the bottom you remove the horseshoe lock here, and then also disconnect the inlet pipes for the hot water and the cold water before you can remove this. The inlet's there. Alright, so finally we're going to remove this. Just going to pull it. Alright folks, so this is how you disconnect the spray hose. Okay, so this is a quick disconnect. Given the small space that you have to work with, you basically have to reach from underneath. And here you see you kind of pull it, tuck it down a little bit. At the same time, use your fingers to squeeze it down like so, and then pull it out. So show it again. See, you can't just pull it out like that by itself. You have to squeeze this top here down, like so. Right? Once it's down, you can pull the whole thing out. Once you remove the hoses, now you have more space to access the nut there above. So to remove this, you need another person to hold onto the faucet. So my son is helping me. He's holding onto the faucet while I try to remove the nut from above here. So I have the basin wrench there, hook onto the nut, and I'm going to try to remove it. And yeah, this is really hard there. Okay, I'm going to put my camera down and gonna try to use both hands to remove this. Okay, let me just take it out. It's really tight here. Okay, we put the Rust-Oleum thing to try to remove the rust. If this doesn't work, we're gonna have to cut the faucet from the top. Alright folks, so currently I am not able to remove the nut from the faucet due to the years of calcium and rust built up, and also the small space under the sink. So right now I can't remove it using the regular normal tool here. So I'm going to have to resort to an alternative strategy to remove the sink faucet, and I'm going to cut it loose using this grinder. Okay, so that doesn't mean that when you do yours, you can't remove the faucet using the normal tools. Okay, this is just my case. Due to the rust and calcium buildup, it's basically stuck. Alright, so you should be able to do yours using the normal process, and if you can't, maybe you have to resort to this too. Alright, so I'm going to have to use this and cut the faucet and remove it. At this point, it doesn't look like I can reuse the old faucet, and I'm going to have to replace it with a new one. So I'm gonna cut it right here at the base. I'm gonna put a towel here, so hopefully this will stop some of the sparks. So there's an outer part here, and there's also the inner part. The inner part here is connected to the topper part here. So you just have to rotate this to cut the inner part as well. So I'm going to tape it up this way it doesn't spin. It doesn't interfere with me cutting the inner part of the faucet here. So here I'm just gonna break it off. That's so beautiful. Look at that, guys. So this thing here, it got stuck because of the water built up, calcium built up. And then I can't swivel it around. Okay, so this one comes off. So now I'm going to try to remove this top piece here. Alright folks, so I finally was able to remove the bottom piece here from underneath. This piece here screws in like this. I was able to use a vice grip to hold the top part and then screw the bottom part off underneath, as you can see. So the reason I can't take it out here and I had to resort to cutting the faucet off is, look at this. All the rust, all the built up over the years, this thing is stuck. There was no way that I was able to remove it. There's no way I can remove the mounting nuts here by itself because how stuck it is. And so I'm not sure why they use metal for this part when they can easily use plastic to get the same job done. But anyway, that's I'm glad I'm able to move it. I had to resort to actually using my grinder to cut the faucet. And now I'm able to install the new faucet. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright folks, so our new faucet will be the Moen Georgene. Here's a number. Notice here where the spout is moving from the bottom to the top. It's straightforward, right? So water can just slide down. the Pfister we have there, it was like this, right? So water can be retained there, accumulate, and then seep into the hole there, eventually deposit calcium and make it stuck. This is something to think about. This is definitely, I'm thinking about this. That's why I specifically look for this. This way you don't have to spend another, close to a couple $100 for a new faucet. So this one is a single hole right here. You have the handles here all tied together. In addition, here it's plastic. I haven't opened this yet, but you can see here, it's plastic. I don't think we're gonna have that rust problem when we have to reinstall it or remove something. And it should be an easy installation. So let's do that. So how you install this is you first insert the gasket. Okay. Boom, it fits. You have this horseshoe here. So you put it in here like so. You have your granite countertop here. And then you put the smaller piece here like so. Screw it in. And if you can't reach it because it's small space, they give you this tool here to do that, to kind of screw it in and tighten it up against the granite countertop. See how it's going to squeeze my hand in there until it's tight. And then this is the end piece of it. Of course, you have to insert the tube here, the spray tube in here, and you connect your weight at the bottom. Alright? If you want to install just one hole, then you would just place this plate here on top like so, with the gasket at the bottom, like that. But I'm not going to do that. We still want to use our dispenser. So we're going to have to plug in this hole here, get a plug and plug it in. Okay folks, so once you insert the gasket here, like so, then you can insert the whole thing in there, like so. And then making sure that the Moen here is facing you, and this one you can move it around. You see how it's supposed to move like this? And again, I emphasize the importance of having this part here even, right? The previous one has like a reservoir here where the water can be collected and accumulate like calcium and seep in there. So now with this in place, you go underneath and install the horseshoe here at the bottom and then screw it in. Okay, so you see the horseshoe is in there. Simply use the tools that they provided and just screw it in like so. All the way until the horseshoe mounting thing there is meshed against the sink. It's really tight. There you go. So now it's in. Look at that. So next you want to remove the spray hose. So you want to insert it. So it go through. It'll come out on the other end. So this is the head, spray head, whatever you call it. This one is pretty simple. You basically screw it in. Yeah, pretty tight. Look at that. Once you tighten the horseshoe, don't forget to put this in there, okay? You can insert it this way or you put it before you insert the tube. In my case, I forgot to insert it and it just gives it a nice finish. And then you put in the weight here. You have to snap it. As you can hear the snap. And then afterward, you want to make sure that the weight can free fall so it doesn't interfere with anything. So it can pull down the spray. And the next part is connecting the spray tube, alright? So you remove the white cap that comes along with it. And here is a female piece. This is called a quick connect. So what you just do is basically push it in until you hear a snap. Like that. Hear a snap and kind of tuck it to see if it comes loose, but it doesn't. It's a nice fit right there, okay? The next step is the water hose. Remember to connect the hot water hose to the hot water inlet valve here. Fingers first, just not too tight maybe. That. So here's a stopper. So there we go. It matches. And then I'm going to go underneath and screw this part at the bottom, and that should do it. Now the last piece of this puzzle is to turn the water on to see if there's any leaks there. I don't see anything at this point. Open as well. There's no water here. There's no leakage. It's good. Here's the moment of truth. I'm going to let my wife do the honor of turning on the faucet. Oh, nice. Can you swivel it? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, this is really nice.
Yeah.
Right, water pressure is fine. How far can that go? Oh, it's pretty far. Right there. This is the Moen, and we're not advertising for Moen, guys. Hopefully that will last longer than the Pfister. We like the fact that here, you know, the water can just go through without having that little piece to hold the water to accumulate calcium to make it stuck. But this is a nice single piece here. Beautiful. Alright folks, so we're done with this removing and installation project. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. Again, don't forget to save the tools that came along with your faucet, just in case you need to remove it later. So just a quick note before I go, just because mine didn't come off in a normal process, that does not mean that yours won't come off. I just have more rust and calcium built up over the years, and so it was just a little bit difficult to remove it given the small space that I have. So other than that, thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope to see you again soon.